Yes, all right. As we were discussing regarding the centroid, so we'll start to solve some of the problems regarding centroid. So here in your video lectures 1 and 2, we have discussed regarding the centroid and how to get the centroidal distance for various figures. Let's see one problem, then how to calculate the actual centroid of any figure. So the topic is the that will be problems on centroid, right? Today we'll discuss one centroid problem, how to calculate what exactly the centroid is. So here first we'll write the statement of the problem. So that will be determine the centroid of the given T section with respect to horizontal and vertical axis, right? So here, so first let us see the figure of the T section. So let us say, so this is a T section, right? And here let us take this dimension will be 100 millimeter, and similarly this one will be 20 mm. This one will be this topmost part will be the flange position, and this one, so this one we are calling it as the flange, and this one we are calling it as the web portion, right? And the width of this web will be 20 millimeter, and similarly the depth of this one will be, let us take 100 millimeter, right? So now what is supposed to, now if you look at this statement, what is talking about, determine the centroid of the given T section with reference to horizontal and vertical axis. So now just he has given a T section. So what we have to do here, we supposed to, first we should have to check it out, is there any axis of reference has given. So now if he has not, so if you look at this one, he has not given any axis of reference. Axis of reference means what? With reference to which axis we supposed to find out the CG distances or centroidal distances. So in that condition, if he has not given any of the reference axes, so in that condition I have to fix the reference axes. So now, so let us say the first one, so that will be, first I will draw the T section here. So that would be, so here, somewhere here, so that would be, so here, so these were not as per the scale. So this is 20 mm, and this one will be 100 mm, and similarly this will be 20 mm, and similarly this one will be 100 mm. If it is not mentioned any of the reference axis, what I need to do, I need to fix the axis of reference. So here I am fixing this entire figure in the first quadrant. So let us take, so this one will be your axis of reference. So that will be, let us take, this is 1 1, horizontal reference axis will be 1 1, and similarly the vertical axis of reference will be 2 2. And again, one more thing I need to check it out, is there any symmetrical axis which is present. So here with reference to vertical axis, so here if I draw the symmetrical axis here, So I will get the exact replica of your this right hand side should coincide with on your left hand side. So it means what? Here the replica of this portion which will coincide on your left position. So this one acts as your symmetrical axis. This will be your symmetrical axis. If suppose this would be your symmetrical axis, so what is the distance of your CG point with reference to this end? So that will be directly I will get, so this distance I can write it as what? The x bar. So that will be x bar, I can directly get it as what? X bar, which is equal to 100 divided by 2, the lengthiest part. So this is 100 millimeter with reference to this 100 millimeter. This is symmetrical axis. So the distance left here, so this distance will be how much? This is 50 millimeter. So x bar I am getting it as 50 millimeter. Now I supposed to find out what is the CG distance with reference to 1 axis. So now if you draw anywhere here the symmetrical axis, so where you will not get exactly the same replica that what you will get on this top position or the bottom position, because I have the T section here. If it is of I section, we would have looked into the depths of the widths of your flange sections, but here there is not any, one more flange is not added. So that's why I need to go for regular first area moment calculation, that what we have defined in our while defining the centroid. So the centroid we are defining it as first area moment. So for that one, what I supposed to do? I supposed to draw the tabulation. The first one will be the, let us take the components, and second one will be what is the area of that corresponding component. So I will write area in, so all the dimensions in millimeter square, millimeters, so I can write it as area in millimeter square. And similarly the centroidal distance with respect to axis 1, and similarly first area moment. So that will be, that is A into Y, that is in millimeter cube. So this is in, that is in CG in terms of millimeter. So here this one, so if you look at this, the T section, so I can divide this T section into two equal parts. So let us say here, because I know what is the CG of the rectangle or the square. So this will be, this is one rectangular component, and again, so this one will be one more rectangular component. So I can say this is your first component, rectangle first one, and I have one more second rectangle. So that will be rectangle number 1, and similarly I have one more rectangle, so that will be rectangle number 2. What is the area of this rectangle here? So this is the area of this first rectangle, so that will be 20 into 100. So that I can say 100 multiplied by 20. So 100 into 20 will be how much? So that will be 2000 millimeter square. Similarly, what is the area of this one? So this will be again 100 multiplied by 20. So that will be equal to, again that will be 2000. 100 multiplied by 20. So that will be 2000. So next one will be centroidal distance with reference. So now this one is acts as my axis of reference in horizontal side, and again this one is also acts as my axis of reference. So here with respect to 1, so what is the CG distance of this first rectangle? So axis of reference is here. So what is the CG? So that will be 100. So along this side I am calculating, so that will be, what is that distance? So here, so let us take, we can write here, so that will be equal to this distance. This is the CG, so this distance will be how much? So this distance will be 100 divided by 2, so that will be equal to 50 millimeter. So here 100 divided by 2, so that will be equal to 50 millimeter. So that's what I have got. If you look at here, the first distance, so that will be 50 millimeter I got. And the next one will be for the second rectangle. The second rectangle is here. So what is the CG distance? So here this is the rectangle. Out of this rectangle, what is its CG point? So if you take this one as the base, so here the CG distance will be from here to here. This will be 20 divided by 2, so that will be 10 millimeter. But where is the reference axis? The reference axis with reference to 1 1 I am calculating, so that's why the total distance will be, so this one, so this entire distance, so up to this position, so let us say up to this position will be my CG of the second rectangle, because this is my axis of reference. My rectangle is locating here, so the center point will locate at this location, so that will be equal to, so this one will be 100 and this distance will be 10, so that will be total how much you will get. So I am highlighting here, so from here to here, so this will be 100 millimeter, and again this one will be 10 millimeter. By combining these two, how much you will get? So 100 plus 10, so that will be 110 millimeter with reference to 1 1. So I am highlighting here this 110 millimeter with reference to 1 1. So I can write 100 plus of 20 divided by 2, so that will be equal to 110 millimeter. So now next find out what is the AY. The first area moment with reference this 1 1 axis. So that will be equal to area. So that will be first area moment 2000 multiplied by 50. So better you write in terms of 10 raised to values. So that will be equal to 2000 multiplied by 50. So that how much you will get? 100 into 10 raised to 3 you will get. 100 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. Similarly for the second rectangle, so that will be 2000 multiplied by 110. So that will be equal to 2000 multiplied by 110. How much you will get? So 220 into 10 raised to 3. 10 raised to 3. So then how will you calculate with reference to the definition of your moment of inertia? So that will be A into y bar, which is equal to summation of A into y. So your y bar, which is equal to summation of AY divided by the total area. How will I get this total area? So that will be summation of A. So this summation of A, which is equal to total area A. So that will be equal to 2000 plus 2000. So that will be 4000 millimeter square. And finally find out what is the summation of AY you will get. Summation of AY, which is equal to 100 plus 220. How much you will get? 320 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. So this is what. So here first, after find out what is summation of AY you will get. So that summation of AY, which is equal to 320 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 4000 millimeter square. So that will be 320 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 4000. So that you will getting 80 millimeter. So y bar distance will be 80 millimeter. So what is the CG of the given section? CG of the T section, which will be equal to what? What is the x bar you are getting? So that will be 50 millimeter, comma 80 millimeter. So in a given section you can write, so this is, let us say this is your T section. In a given T section, so somewhere here, so because this is overall 100 mm, so here this is CG distance, so with reference to these two axes, so this distance will be, so here this is your axis of reference, so I can say this distance as 50 millimeter, and similarly this distance as 80 millimeter, so that is equal to 50 millimeter, and similarly, so here this is 50 millimeter, similarly this will be 80 millimeter. So here your these distances will going to be changed with reference to these two axes, but right now we are keeping your entire body in the first quadrant, so that's why this will be the axis of reference. This is one axis of reference, and similarly this will be also one axis of reference. With reference to these two axes of references, my distance will be 50 millimeter and similarly 80 millimeter. Clear? If this axis of reference, if it changed or if it varied, in that condition your x bar and similarly your y bar value is also going to be varied, right? So similarly we'll solve. So here what is the important steps we supposed to look into while solving the centroidal problems? The first and foremost thing is, has he given any of the reference axes? First thing, if he has not mentioned any of the reference axes, what are you supposed to do? You have to keep this entire figure in the first quadrant. So this is in the first quadrant and this is in the first y-axis is also this entire figure in the first quadrant. It represents what? Whatever the x distance you will get, and similarly whatever the y distances you will get, both are in positive values only you will get. If the quadrants which will going to be changed, so in that condition your distances will vary. So that will be, let us say this is your quadrants. So here if you look at this quadrant, your both x is positive and similarly y is also positive. If you look at this end, your x is negative and y is positive. If you look at this third quadrant, both are negative. If you look at this fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So why we are keeping this entire figure in this quadrant if he has not mentioned any of the references axis? Because my x is positive and similarly my y is also positive. Just to avoid the confusions, I am keeping my entire figure in the first quadrant. Suppose in a problem itself, if he mentioned the figure in second quadrant or in the third quadrant or in the fourth quadrant, you have to take the centroidal distance with reference to the quadrant he mentioned about. If he is not mentioned anything, so you have to go for the first quadrant and calculate what is the x bar distances and y bar distances. Once you fix your reference axis, second thing will be what? Check, is there any symmetrical axis present? If the symmetrical axes are present, in that condition, so your half of the work is done. Because if you not checked any of the symmetrical axes, again I should have to go for the movement area calculations, where with reference to your 2 axis also I need to find out. But if the symmetrical axis is present, so in that condition your CG value, which will be centroidal distance, which will be lying on this symmetrical axis. So that's why directly I am getting what? Total 100 divided by 2, half of the total this width. So that will be 100 divided by 2, because this is your reference axis. With reference this, the exact centermost position will be 50. So that will be 100 divided by 2. So half of my work is finished. 50% of the work is done. So here I got 50 millimeter. And the next thing will be what? Here the second one. With reference to 1 axis. So here with reference to 1 axis, so here if you look at this entire section, so I can get what? One will be one rectangle. So I can divide this one into 2 rectangular components. Rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. So here how will I calculate the centroidal distance from the first area movement? So that will be a into y bar, which is equal summation of a into y. I am just tabulating these values in terms of a tabulation. So that will be the first rectangle. Here in this first rectangle, the area will be 100 into 20. So that will be, so this is 200 into 20. So that will be 2000. And similarly for your second rectangle, 100 into 20. So that will be 2000. Both areas are same. And the next one will be CG distance. So now with reference this 1 axis. So what is the CG point of this first rectangle? So the with here along this direction I am calculating, because already we have calculated this distance. So this distance will be 100 divided by 2. So that will be 50 mm I got. So here I have got 50 millimeter. If you move to the second one, the rectangle is here, but the reference axis is here. I need to add this distance. So that will be 100 plus of 20 divided by 2. So how much you will get? 100 plus 10. So here, so this from here to here, this distance will be 100. From this end to this end, it will be 10 mm. So that will be total, which will be 100 millimeter. So that will be 100 plus of 20 divided by 2. So that will be 110 millimeter. So after that, find out the first area moment of individual components. I have two components. This is one component and this is also one component. Find out what is the first area moment with reference to this axis, and the second one also with reference to this axis. So that will be 2000 into 50. So that will be 100 into 10 raised to 3. Similarly 2000 into 110. So that will be 220 into 10 raised to 3. So what is the summation of AY you will get? 320 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. So substitute in the formula. So that will be summation of AY divided by the total summation of A. So that will be equal to 320 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 4000. So that how much you will get? 80 millimeter I got. With reference to 1 axis, the distance will be 80 millimeter. So here, after that, you're supposed to show what is the CG distance of this entire figure with reference to this axis and similarly this axis. So that will be equal to what? So this will be 80 millimeter and similarly this one, which will be 50 millimeter. So X bar will be, so this distance will be 50 and similarly this distance will be 80 millimeter. 50 millimeter by 80 millimeter. Is that understood? Okay. So next, while we are solving for another problem for varying CG distances, in that condition we'll get to know how to take the axis of reference. So here, whenever if he has not mentioned anything regarding your axis of reference, you keep your body in the first quadrant. Clear? And after that you can check out the axis of symmetry, and after that you follow this procedure, and what you will get X bar and Y bar. So the continuation of your centroid will be the moment of inertia only. So what we are doing in moment of inertia? In moment of inertia, we are going for the second area moment instead of, along with we should have to calculate what is centroidal distance. After that, we should have to go for the second area moment. Right. Once you have done that, we'll go for the moment of inertia. To calculate the moment of inertia, centroidal calculations are very, very important. Right? Okay. We'll see the one more problem after this class. Okay. Thank you.